The Bluefield College Rams try to make it 3 wins in a row tonight against the Bryan College Lions here inside the Dome on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Hello, everybody. Bailey Engel, glad to have you with us for another edition of Rams men's basketball here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Bluefield looked good in that game just a couple of days ago. A buzzer-beater finish and a win 109-107 against the Montreat College Cavaliers. Rams led by as much as 19 in that game, and then still the Cavaliers fought back, forced an extra period, but now Bluefield has won 2 in a row after knocking off Point last week at the Dome, and now going against Montreat, they won that game against one of the top teams in the AAC. Bluefield very much flirting with a chance to be recognized in the rankings in the NAIA. Naquan Cousins, a guy that gets the start tonight, elevates towards the rim for Bluefield. Jeremiah Jenkins as well, one of the best freshmen that we have seen in the entire AAC. If you look at Bryan College, E.J. Bush, the freshman guard, and Oteria Lee, the senior for Knoxville, Tennessee, those are going to be the 2 main scorers for the Lions here tonight. Both of them the top scorers, as E.J. Bush, just in his first year playing collegiate basketball, averages 13.5 points per game. On the other side, Lee, with 17 points the last time he played against Bluefield, has 26 steals and scores 17 points per game. So Bluefield will try to win it down low. They have a little bit more size. Biggest player on the floor right now might be Bryce Cusick, as well as being paired up with Tyler Yoder, 6'7" and 6'5" respectively. But the Rams, maybe a little bit more athleticism, but still trying to avenge that earlier loss this year when Bryan was able to beat Bluefield in Dayton, Tennessee, 64-62. We got a packed house here at the Dome tonight as the Rams are looking for a way to improve on their already good 10-6 record, 6-4 in the conference. Bryan 12-8 and 6-5 in the AAC. Bluefield right now at 3rd in the conference, Bryan at 6th. And now the Rams with a chance to really make a statement here against a team they already lost to in 2017. Now it's basically a brand new season as the Rams, headed by Richard Morgan, square off against the Lions, headed by Don Rakowski. Looks like Donnell Gooch will get the start for Bluefield as well, the 6'9" junior from Wendell, North Carolina. Damon Childress getting the nod to go ahead and start this game for Bluefield. Scored 6 points in the last game. Rams wearing the white in this one, and we are ready to go. Tip-off goes the way of Damon Childress, and Bluefield will have it going right to left. Well, Jeremiah Jenkins in that last game against Montreat showed a lot of his confidence as he has Taekwon Reed on the floor with him. This is the starting lineup that Richard Morgan has used in the past 3 games for Bluefield. Outlet on the right side to Damon Childress. A head fake, feeds a Reed. Another fake, pumps into a long 2. Front rim miss, and a rebound the other way for Clay Hurdle. Oh, Hurdle, the guard from Louisville, Kentucky. The junior with a reverse layup, and Reed absolutely smoked the ball near the entrance here. Wow. A stare down to boot, and now Bryan just has to smile through that one. E.J. Bush kind of lapped. A head fake 3 for Bryan Cusick and a brand new offense for Oteria Lee. Lee, the senior from Knoxville, Tennessee, pressured by the freshman Jeremiah Jenkins. 13 to shoot. Bounce into Cusick on the right elbow. Feeds back out to Yoder, the main 3-point shooter. Now 7 to shoot. Bounce down low. Bush, turnaround jumper, rattles it home for the first basket of the night from the right side of the baseline. About a minute elapsed here. Bluefield going with Jeremiah Jenkins, taking the ball across midcourt, feeds to Damon Childress. Step back tray from the top of the Dome, actually. Almost hit the roof, but he missed anyway. Rebound for Lee, zips it over to Cusick. A 3 he missed. Rebound on the right block for Taekwon Reed. So Reed off of the block now, trying to get some points of his own. Damon Childress, a guy that's not afraid to shoot the threes. That's why Richard Morgan has him out there. But still, if he gets hot, it'll be tough to beat him, but it might take a little bit more than that. Taekwon Reed, the junior from North Carolina, with a hard step and shuffles back top of the key. Offensive foul called on Naquan Cousins. And that will be the first turnover of the night for Bluefield and the first foul for either team. Well, Cousins in that last game against Montreat scored the first 8 points against Montreat of the second half. Ended up in double figures, but really coming off of the bench, David Tripp was the main factor in that game with 20 points. And you can't go that game without remembering Sean Robinson as well. Feed back out to Cusick. Launches a tray from the right wing. Tips off of the rim, and a rebound pulled down by Cousins. Now here comes the Norfolk native straight down the middle of the floor. Steps into a tray instead. Kicks it back out to Reed on the right wing. Working around the perimeter. 17:55. The score still 2-0. Bluefield going a full 2 minutes without nailing a shot here. As Reed underhands it over to Jenkins. 10 to shoot now. Working off the defense by Lee. Starts to shuffle top of the key. Splits the defense. Pops from the free throw line. Nothing but net for the freshman. 2-2 now the score. 17:37 remaining in the first half. And Lee, a guy that really combines with E.J. Bush well. If Bluefield can keep them locked down on the perimeter, it'll be tough for the Rams to lose. Meanwhile, a three falls for Tyler Yoder on the right wing to give a 5-2 lead back to Bryan. Bryan in the black, just like what their women's team was wearing when they beat Bluefield earlier tonight. Rams going with the white jerseys, getting the luck in the red, though, a couple of nights ago. Lob to Donnell Gooch, zips to Cousins, steps in the lane, and he is hacked right before he went up for the basket, so it's a foul on the floor, and the first team foul for Bryan College. 5-2's the score. It's 17:06 remaining, and it's the first foul called on Clay Hurdle. So it'll be an inbounds pass for Jeremiah Jenkins on the left baseline as he swings it into the backcourt for Naquan Cousins, walking right across midcourt. And Jenkins camping right in front of that student section that is starting to pile up here at the Dome. Mike White stressing that a lot of these athletes come out and support their fellow Rams as Damon Childress misses a three from pro length, and the offensive board could be hauled down by Naquan Cousins, but in the process tipped the ball off of the hands of E.J. Bush. So a good play for Cousins as he was kind of shaken up when he went to the floor on his back. But the Rams will now have an inbounds pass again with 16:50 remaining, down by 3. Jenkins feeds into Childress, towing down the baseline, swings top of the key over to Reed. Bullet pass left wing Jenkins, pops down low to Naquan Cousins. Couple of hard dribbles, looking for a spin move. Instead, dishes to Taekwon Reed, scoops with the left hand and scores. Rams within one, 5-4 now the score. Taekwon Reed, another guy that plays with so much confidence, and when you get Bluefield going, they're a team that has a lot of fun. You saw that against Montreat, especially after the buzzer beater. The team was all smiles on the 5-hour ride home. Feed on the left side over to Cusick, kicks it back over to Lee. Crossover dribble down the left side of the paint, snatched away by Donnell Gooch. 2-on-1 go the Rams. Here's Taekwon Reed, Euro step, layup can't go, but it will be a goaltending. So it looked like Bryan Cusick trying to elevate himself a tad bit too much as he swatted that ball right into the window. Rams with the lead now 6-5 after the goaltending call. As now Terry Lee will take the ball across midcourt. Got to remember that Bryan College, even though they are behind Bluefield in the standings, they have beaten Bluefield this year as Hurdle corrals the ball near midcourt, pops over to Cusick, and now here's another block as Cusick misses the shot, but the putback falls for Clay Hurdle. Another thing for Bryan, they beat Truett McConnell by 10 last week, 80-70. Jenkins at the top of the key, passes left wing to Taekwon Reed. Head fake into the lane, another Euro step. Somehow gets the layup to go, but misses. So it's now 7-6. Bryan on top. Cross-court lob over to Hurdle on the far wing, but up top to Terry Lee with a hard head fake. Lee not a guy that is extremely tall at 5'9", so Jenkins matched up with him quite well. Lee going up for the layup and clonks it in off the window. Well, the defense really was there. It's now 9-6 Rams trailing by 3 with 15 minutes remaining in the first half. Still one foul apiece for either of these teams. As Jenkins feeds over to Damon Childress, still looking for his first three. Back up top to Jeremiah Jenkins, getting separation from Lee. Almost lost the ball, but backed up. Childress pops it back up over to Taekwon Reed in the right wing. 8 to shoot for the Rams. Clock now going down to 5. Here comes Naquan Cousins, lobs into Donnell Gooch, puts it on the deck, hook shot falls. 9-8 now the score, Rams up by 1. That's a great job of the Rams, still not panicking even though Naquan Cousins fell into that far double team in the corner. Still found his man in Donnell Gooch who popped the shot. Now E.J. Bush backing in the lane, gives it back out over to Cusick, or rather that's Yoder, and now Cusick feeds over to Lee in the left wing. Lee splitting through the defense, back out to Bush, going for the layup he missed after starting with the ball near the free throw line. Outlet up to Jenkins in the right wing, underhands Damon Childress, pro length three, he missed. Naquan Cousins wrestles for the rebound, he got it. Feed back out to Gooch. Kicked the ball with his right hand, and now here comes Bryan. Another outlet up to Yoder, spinning through, and he walks. So some quick moments right there. 13:58 remaining in the first half, and you got to remember there are no media timeouts here. We've rolled through the first 6 minutes of this game. 9-8 Rams trail by 1 as Jeremiah Jenkins takes the ball across midcourt for Bluefield. Childress still looking for the confidence in his threes. Remains on the floor. Bluefield has not subbed yet. Jenkins pops a long three and drains the triple. That brings some Rams fans onto their feet now as the Bluefield College Rams take the lead. 11-9, 13:30 remaining first half. Jenkins meeting the man-to-man defense near midcourt, and Bluefield gets back in his zone. Lee feeds Cusick top of the key and paps it back over to his point guard. Starts to attack in the lane, and he's fouled by Jeremiah Jenkins, who had a hand in. Now we're going to start to see some substitutes come in. Terrence Scales as well as Reagan Johnson check in for Bryan. And Stan Nelms will take Damon Childress out of the game. Well, Stanthony Nelms coming off of the bench in that Montreat game really took it over in overtime. When Bluefield was down by 6 at times, Stanthony Nelms really put the team on his back and got Bluefield back within scoring range. Here's David Tripp back into the game for Bluefield as Naquan Cousins is taken off. Tripp coming off of a good game where he scored 20 points and had 4 rebounds as well. Scales to inbounds, chucks it out in the right ring for E.J. Bush. Almost lost the ball and just underhands it back to his 5'9" point guard. 13-13 remaining in this first half. 11-9, Rams on top. Here comes a shot. Missed and pulled down by David Tripp. That was Isaiah McLean in for the first time as Jenkins pops it over to Stanthony Nelms. Rams still up by 2. Donnell Gooch has already scored in this game and underhands it back over to Taekwon Reed. Will Tripp, a guy that can get it done down low as well as outside of the perimeter. Labs it over to him, pops back to Reed. 11 to shoot, drains a 3. Yes. 14-9, a 5-point game. 12.5 left in the first half. Bluefield starting to hit the threes, and you saw against Montreat when that started to happen, their confidence really started to scale up. Speaking of Scales, Terrence Scales feels over to Tyler Roeder. His shot from the left end of the baseline missed. Pulled down by David Tripp. 12-18 remaining first half as Jeremiah Jenkins starts to pop it back over to Taekwon Reed. Oh, Bluefield hoping for their 3rd straight win and another win here at the Dome. They lost here 2 weeks ago against Truett McConnell, the team Bryan just beat in a 10-point contest. 10 to shoot, Jeremiah Jenkins in the right wing. Arcs a 3, misses wide right as the ball just banged off the right end of the rim. On the board, pulled down by the point guard, Oteria Lee. Crossover dribble in the left wing, almost lost it, and he traveled as Stanthony Nelms just snuck his paw right in there. Oteria Lee came up and couldn't come down with another dribble. So a turnover for the Bryan College Lions, and now we see Justin Warner check into the game for E.J. Bush. Well, Bush as well as Oteria Lee, both guys that really start every game and play the majority of minutes. Now Jenkins taken out for Bluefield. Sean Robinson in, the hero from the last game who hit that game winner. Loose pass corralled by Taekwon Reed in the left wing as he starts to skate it back over to Sean Robinson on the opposite end of the floor. Robinson underhands Reed, steps for another triple, misses front rim, tipped in the air and pulled down on a board by Terrence Scales. Going 3-on-2, Bryan able to draw a foul on Taekwon Reed, courtesy of Terrence Scales. And now that'll be the 3rd foul for Bluefield in the first half with 11:21 remaining in the first. Jorge Concepcion back into the game for the Rams. Guy that normally was the starter and actually the points leader for Bluefield, but has kind of dwindled off in the past couple of months, or past couple of weeks, I should say. That's the first foul on Taekwon Reed, by the way. An inbounds pass to Oteria Lee. Sean Robinson matched up with him. Lee off a screen, starts to veer right, pops from 5 and misses on the right block. Tipped in the air. Loose ball corralled by Sean Robinson. Rams still leading by 5, 14-9. Outlets up Stan Nelms and passes in the corner to Jorge Concepcion. Off of his screen, starts to juke on the right and pops cross corner over to Stanthony Nelms. Long 2. He hit it as he was knocked down by Justin Warner. Makes it 16-9 as he was just about a foot inside of the perimeter. 7-point lead for Bluefield. Now going the other way. We're trying to see if Bryan can answer here. Reagan Johnson feeds, and now a pass down low to Warner, snatched away by David Tripp. Well, Tripp's another guy that's trying to fight back defensively. Has 15 blocks. That leads the team. Here's Robinson, bounces top of the key to Gooch, zips it over on the right wing for David Tripp. His mid-range front rim miss, and a rebound snatched by Isaiah McLean. 10:20 remaining first half. A 7-point lead for the Rams. Reagan Johnson thought about a triple, but instead passed it over to Oteria Lee. And Sean Robinson really with that hard-nosed defense against the point guard. Here comes a shot for Isaiah McLean. He clonked it in to give now Bryan an 11-point score, 16-11, 9:58 remaining. Stanthony Nelms with a lot of confidence starts to push his way down the right baseline, feeds on a bounce pass. Sean Robinson has to retreat back out in the right corner with 9:48 remaining. Bluefield starts to just halt this one. Up by 5, 10 seconds to shoot. Jorge Concepcion drifting around towards the top of the key. Bounces right corner. Sean Robinson shoots for the triple and swishes. 19-11, and he was knocked down, no foul called, and we've seen him complete that 4-point play so far this season. Just a couple of days ago against Montreat, it's now the Rams lead by 8 at 19-11. Terry Lee goes on the left side, loose ball stolen by David Tripp. 3-on-1 go the Rams. Sean Robinson bounces back to Tripp, goes up for the layup and misses, but the foul going to be called on Justin Warner. And now David Tripp will go to the line with an 8-point lead. 9:13 remaining. Both teams just letting their players play. No timeouts called yet. And now, as I say that, a timeout called by the Lions. That's the first foul on Warner and a team second. Bluefield up by 8 here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Taekwon Reed leading the way for Bluefield as the Rams lead the Lions by 8. 19-11 as David Tripp goes to the line right before the Bryan timeout. He was fouled as he hit the first free throw to make it now 20-11. 9:13 remaining, entering the game for the first time for Bryan. Luke Janney, the sophomore, just playing in his 3rd game this year. As David Tripp eyes the rim and hits the second. 21-11. Rams on top by 10 with 9:10 remaining in the first half. Here comes Janney, the sophomore from Knoxville, Tennessee, a crossover dribble, relieving Oteria Lee. Sean Robinson with great defense on him. Bounce in the right wing over to McLean. Going down the baseline, zips it over in the left corner. Here's Janney, left wing 3. Yes. Flashes up the 3 in his hands as he is confidently going on the other end of the floor. 21-14, Rams lead by 7. Here's Sean Robinson. He's hit a 3 in this game as well. He has those 3 points on the one shot he's taken. Stan Nelms feeds top of the key over to David Tripp. A couple of pump fakes as he gives it back over to Sean Robinson. 12 to shoot. Jorge Concepcion with possession, doesn't like where he has. Now a bounce down low to Gage Jesbeck, spins towards the basket, and the senior scooped and scored. 23-14, a 20 remaining first half. Going down the lane, here's Luke Janney. He's got a lot of speed coming off of the bench, kind of a young face coming out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Now a pass on the left side over to Reagan Johnson as Terrence Scales with a hard bounce pass to E.J. Bush. Puts it back on the deck. Fadeaway jumper missed. Wrestling for the rebound, Anthony Nelms, and he's hacked by Reagan Johnson. That'll be the team's third foul on Bryan. Both teams now with a trio of fouls. And it looks like Bryce Cusick will go back into the game. 6'2 freshman. Or rather the 6'7 senior. 23-14, 8 minutes left to go. First half, Sean Robinson, the main point guard now. Jenkins getting a little bit of a breather. Here's Jorge Concepcion. Zip down low, David Tripp turns towards the basket, and he's fouled on the shot. Looked like E.J. Bush thought he had a clean block, but instead David Tripp will go to the line for the second time. Oh, Tripp already 2 of 2 from the line. That's how he scored all his points in this one. That's the team's fourth foul, first one on E.J. Bush. Tripp bends the knees and shoots. Back iron. Rare miss for David Tripp. As Bluefield still commands here with a 9-point lead over Bryan, a team that beat them by 2 back in November. Here's David Tripp, shoots. This time he tickles the twine to make it a 10-point lead, 24-14. 7:51 remaining. Taekwon Reed back into the game with 7 points. Jorge Concepcion didn't get a shot up in that span. And now Reed will try to bring forth some defensive pressure at midcourt, pinballing the ball around cross-court between Isaiah McLean and Luke Janney. And now a foul called on Taekwon Reed. Reed reached a hand in on Isaiah McLean, and he's going to go into the books for the second time. And that is the team's fourth foul. Coming right back in for Bluefield, though, Jorge Concepcion. So Janney able to draw the foul on Taekwon Reed, and he is immediately taken out of the game. Inbounds pass into Luke Janney, a hard head fake as Sean Robinson is matched up with him. Janney 6'3", Robinson under 6 feet tall. Here comes Scales, feeds over to Cusick, launches a tray and misses from the right wing. Jorge Concepcion on the rebound, and he'll just take the ball across midcourt for Bluefield, going down the near sideline. Underhands it over to David Tripp, bumping his way down in the lane, and that will be a charge as Cusick was able to flop down. Still a 10-point lead for the Rams, though, at 24-14, and the first foul on David Tripp, a team fifth. David Tripp, a guy that really plays so aggressive for Bluefield, and you can see him kind of wear his emotions on his sleeve if things don't go right, but what a talented player for Bluefield coming out of Connecticut. Going across midcourt, Janney bounces into Cusick in the right elbow, pops it back down low to Janney, who kisses it off the glass to give this one another single-digit deficit, 24-16, 6:58 remaining. Pass into the block, Concepcion pops from the baseline, air ball, rebound for Scales. Bryan going the other way as Anthony Nelms is matched up with him in man-to-man. Out of the double team, feeds Cusick in the left wing, pops it over, McLean for 3. Back iron, no good. Rebound jumping in the air, David Tripp. He outlets it up to Sean Robinson. Trying to move fast as Robinson loses the ball, but Jesbeck picked it up. Here comes Concepcion, lobs top of the key to Nelms. Dish down low to Concepcion. Right hook shot miss, and that's a bad one as a foul is called on the rebound by David Tripp. And now it'll be an inbounds pass for Bryan with 6:26 remaining. Rams still up by 8. And now the buzzer sounds. Naquan Cousins and DeJuan Perry in. Well, Perry didn't play in that last game until the second half, now being brought in with just 6:26 remaining. And actually that foul was not called on David Tripp, That's a foul on Bryan's E.J. Bush. So that's the 5th foul on the Lions. Justin Turner back in the game to relieve E.J. Bush after he was put in the books for the second time. Now Bluefield will have a chance to score here. Yes, Beck underhands back over to Sean Robinson off the inbounds. 6:20 remaining. Sean Robinson is veering his way around towards the right wing and instead passes it over to DeJuan Perry. Now Anthony Nelms in the left wing spins into the paint, and he's fouled by Justin Turner. That's the team's 6th foul on Bryan, so just 1 away from the 1-and-1. Glad to have you with us here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. A very good game as Bluefield leads by 8. 3 starting to fall for Bluefield. 3 of 8 from beyond the arc as Bryan is just 2 of 6 in bonus. Here's Gage Jesbeck skying towards the rim and blocked by Justin Turner, who pulled down the rebound as well. 6:04 remaining. as Luke Janney is starting to move with command, wearing the low-top gray shoes. Passes over to Cusick, who underhands it over to Terrence Scales. Pass down low. Turner with a baseline jumper, swirls around the cup. He misses, and the ball corralled on the left side by Stanthony Nelms. Going back on the other end of the floor, the forward from Atlanta, Georgia. Cross-court lob to Nae'Qwan Cousins. Head fake into the lane. Back over to Nelms. Thinks about a three. Instead, passes Robinson. He's fouled as he hits the tray from the right wing. He did it in the game against Montreat, and now he'll try to pick up another special kind of and one. 27-16, Rams lead by 11. Gotta love the toughness of Sean Robinson now with 6 points. That's the first foul, by the way, on Isaiah McLean. Misses the free throw, though, but Bluefield still with a commanding 11-point lead. 5.5 minutes remaining before halftime. Going across midcourt, Sean Robinson also just really not letting Luke Janney get anything easy. Bounce pass over to Justin Turner and underhands it back to McLean. Into the lane, McLean goes. He stumbles as he is blocked on the layup attempt by Nae'Qwan Cousins. So now it'll be an inbounds pass, and Oteria Lee comes back into the game for Isaiah McLean. Jeremiah Jenkins back in for Sean Robinson after he drains that three with a foul. 27-16, 11 seconds left on the shot clock. Damon Childress also back into the game as Stan Nelms will be relieved. Scales with an inbounds pass on the right side. Slaps the ball. He's ready to go. DeJuan Perry on the pressure. Taking a long time as he bounces into Lee in the right corner. Almost lost the ball. Now 8 to shoot. Lee dropping back towards midcourt. Realizes the shot clock. Veers left. Passes back over to Cusick. Another bounce pass in the corner. Scales can't get the shot up as the ball actually was counted on the shot. Didn't look like he got it, but still missed anyway as Damon Childress pulled down the rebound. Here comes Bluefield up by 11, 27-16. Damon Childress in the right wing. Passes top of the key to DeJuan Perry. Now the Detroit, Michigan native veers it back out over to Childress. Bluefield hoping for a shot here, 12 to shoot, and DeJuan Perry traveled at the top of the key. Still an 11-point lead for Bluefield. Bryan just kind of letting this one go the way of the Rams. Sean Robinson with 6 points, Taekwon Reed with 7. 4.5 minutes left. Oteria Lee at the top of the key, picks up his dribble, passes it out of bounds, and Bluefield forces another turnover. That is the 8th turnover for Bryan, and on the other side for the Rams, only with 3. So just like we saw in that women's game, turnovers a big part of the contest already, and Bluefield this time is on top of it. Pass in the right corner for Nae'Qwan Cousins, and now he's looking for some help. Finds it in Perry. Bounce down low, kicked away by Terrence Scales, and Bluefield will have an inbounds with 4:20 left to go in the first half. Rams with a couple of big wins, now trying to make it 3 in a row against a Bryan team that kind of evenly matches up with them. Feed into Damon Childress. Sky-high three, missed from the corner, and Terrence Scales bounced into the board. 27-16, just about 4:10 remaining as Oteria Lee underhands it back over to Bryan's Terrence Scales. This is a team with a ton of shooters, not a lot of size. Rams have Gage Yespek as well as Nae'Qwan Cousins on the floor, both right around 6'6" and 6'7". 10 to shoot. Here's Janney on the right side. Step back tray. Misses under the basket, rebound for Turner, but right before that they will call a 3-second violation. Bluefield really forcing Bryan to play out a system in this one. And with 3:51 remaining, and rather they're going to call a foul rather than a 3-second violation. So now that is the team's 8th foul, and Bluefield will go to the line with a 1-and-1. Justin Turner, rather than that being a 3-second violation, must have pushed off on Nae'Qwan Cousins and will send the Bluefield junior to the line, or rather a sophomore. Transfer from Vance Granville Community College. Eyes the rim. And his first shot goes straight through the net. 28-16. Rams, interestingly enough, sending no rebounders to contest this. It's all Lions right near the paint now. Here's Cousins, bends the knees and shoots. Hits them both. Makes it 29-16 as Nae'Qwan Cousins enters the score sheet for the first time. Well, if Cousins gets hot, it's going to be tough for Bryan to really fight back because he can really electrically score for Bluefield. Finds a way to dunk as well as hit threes. Bounce into Cusick on the left elbow. Pops it on the opposite elbow for Justin Turner. Feed back out to Cusick. Takes a long three and rattles it straight through the cup for his second tray of the night. Makes it 29-19, or 10-point lead for the Rams. 3:25 first half. Naquan Cousins near the top of the arc will bounce it out to his freshman point guard. Returns over to Cousins, pump fake, lob down low to Kevin Schmidt, the redshirt freshman, and looks like his pass was just tipped out of bounds by Terrence Scales in the near corner. Buzzer sounds, and Tyler Yoder will re-enter the game for Bryan to relieve Terrence Scales. Bluefield has led by multiple possessions for most of this game, and really if you look at it, rebounding hasn't been the real factor. Both teams with 12 rebounds apiece, but the turnovers really biting Bryan College in the behind with 9 turnovers already. Looked like DeJuan Perry had trouble to get the ball in, and a timeout called by Richard Morgan. 29-19 as we take a break here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Bluefield looking good here at the Dome. Pass inbounds for Bluefield. Rams up by 10, 29-19 here at the Dome. And Jorge Concepcion throws it like a football on the other end of the paint into the backcourt. Jeremiah Jenkins takes it up across midcourt and passes in the right corner for Jorge Concepcion. Rams have 7 to shoot. Back top of the key, Jeremiah Jenkins. Feed in the left block over to Kevin Schmidt. Back up top to Damon Childress. Shoots at the buzzer. Doesn't get it to go. Clocks off of the back iron. Rebound for Tyler Yoder. So not a great possession for Bluefield straight out of the timeout. Kind of frustrating for Richard Morgan, a perfectionist for this very athletic team that plays very talented basketball. Right off the left side, Cusick arcs a triple and sinks it from the left wing. Well, Bryan Cusick back into this one. The big man at 6'7", operates as kind of a forward guard combo, now has 6 points. On the top of the key, Cousins bounce down low to Kevin Schmidt. Puts it on the deck, spins, looking for separation. Misses as the ball just tips around in the rim. Cousins trying to posterize on a dunk putback. Can't get it to go. 2:15 remaining, lead down to 7. Here comes Ateria Lee. Starts to shuffle out on the right wing. Good defensive stance by Bluefield. Cusick, step back long 2 from the baseline, and he's on fire. Make that 8 points as he hit his past 2 shots. Back down to a 5-point lead, 29-24. Jorge Concepcion zagging his way back out to Jeremiah Jenkins. Bullets down low, Kevin Schmidt into a triple team. Schmidt lost the ball, and it's stolen away by Tyler Yoder. 1:45 remaining in this first half. Bryan picking up confidence as Cusick has the ball on the left wing. Popped up for a shot, but instead kept it himself and passed it out over to Lee. 1:37 remaining first half as Jenkins steps up the defense. Bluefield operating in his zone now. Lee, crossover dribble, sends it back out onto the right wing for Clay Hurdle. Spin in the lane. One arm shot, missed but foul. That'll be on Damon Childress. That'll be the team's 6th foul. So it'll be 2 shots for Clay Hurdle. Hurdle, the junior from Louisville, Kentucky. Hits his first free throw. He's only played in 5 games, made his 2nd start in the win over Truett McConnell, but still scored 10 points in the win against the Bears. Now it's 29-25. Bryan has fought back. Bluefield has led by as much as 11. Hurdle arcs and shoots. He scores on both free throws. Down to a 3-point game, 29-26. Rams very cold here at the end of the first half. Top of the key, Anthony Nelms, chest pass in the right wing to Jeremiah Jenkins, just underhanding near the top of the arc. Jorge Concepcion feeds Cousins, pass on the right side for Nelms. Arcs a shot, misses from the right wing, rebound for Cusick. Now with 1:05 left to go, Bryan College has a chance to possibly tie this one up, and a timeout called by Don Renkowski. Now with a minute 29-26. Bryan breathing down the necks of Bluefield as we enter the final minute of the first half. One minute remaining in the first half. Taking the ball across midcourt, it'll be Luke Janney. Bluefield trying to pick the ball away. It's loose near the logo, still snatched by Cusick. Feed into Hurdle as he loses the ball. Picks it back up, and the right block now 10 to shoot. Bounces to Janney. His layup off the top of the window. He missed. Rebound Cousins. Bluefield now on a 2-on-2 break. Feed over to Jenkins. His triple. Front rim miss. Rebound Gooch going for the putback. He's hacked, but no foul, as now an outlet pass the other way on the other side for Yoder, bouncing out of bounds. Really ambitious chance, and if you see Bryan right now, Luke Janney telling his team to calm down. Shot clock is off now. Bluefield will get it back on the far corner. 28.7 seconds remaining. Here comes Jeremiah Jenkins, likely to hold for a last shot for the Rams. 20 seconds remaining as Jenkins walks the ball right across the logo. Bluefield just camping out in the corners now as they will try to sink this last shot. They've led by as much as 11, and now it has been cut down to 3 points. 7 seconds remaining. Jenkins off the screen, right into a double team. Feeds Cousins, launches a triple. Yes! From the top of the arc, 32-26. Buzzer sounds, and the Rams will go into the locker room at halftime, up by 6 on top of Bryan College, looking to avenge that November loss as we enter halftime here at the Dome. At halftime, Rams lead 32-26 with a pretty diverse scoring effort. Tyquan Reed leading the way for Bluefield with 7 points. Then right behind him, Sean Robinson hitting a 3, has 6. And then 2 players with 5 points, Naquan Cousins as well as Jeremiah Jenkins. On the other end, nobody in double figures for Bryan. Bryce Cusick, though, is 2 of 5 from beyond the arc. He has 8 points, 3 of 7 from the field. And then behind him with 5, Luke Janney, the point guard coming off of the bench, has 5 points. And you got to look at Oteria Lee just with 2 points. He is 1 of 2 from the field. He's the point scoring leader that scores around 17 points per game for Bryan. Has only had 1 shot fall, as well as E.J. Bush, another guy that averages right around 15 points per game, just has 2 for the Lions. Bluefield trying to win 3 in a row. They're winning in the turnover game, though. And Bluefield only has 7. Bryan College with 10 turnovers of their own. Largest lead of the Rams has been 13. Bryan led by 3 early on in the game. They were able to fight back and get this down to a 3-point contest. Naquan Cousins hit a triple, though, right as the buzzer sounded, and that is how Bluefield has been pretty good in this one. Still leading by 6, 32-26, 5.5 minutes remaining before we head into the second half here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Now ready to start the second half. Rams lead 32-26 over Bryan. Bluefield looking for their third win in a row. It's Arian Lee just with 2 points matched up with Jeremiah Jenkins, who has scored 5 for the Rams. Bluefield operating in his own defense as Lee skates back towards the top of the key. Oh, Bryan getting in a little bit of rhythm there right at the end of the first half. Bluefield, though, coming out with hard-nosed defense. Now 10 to shoot. Lee still hasn't passed the ball. Instead, pops a long two and misses as Damon Childress pulled down the rebound. Oh, Bryan can't really be happy with that possession. Nobody was open, and Lee just tried to take the game himself. Here's Jenkins in the near wing, passes left wing over to Tyquan Reed. Bluefield has been relying on Reed in this one. He has 7 points. Cousins feeds Childress, pops a tray, hits it with contact, but no foul called on Clay Hurdle, and now the Rams back up by 9. So Childress finally getting onto the board, hitting his first 3 of the game. He hit 2 against Montreat, as now Bluefield going back with that same starting lineup to start the second half as they did to start the game. In the right wing, Hurdle with a crossover dribble, feeds top of the key Lee. 10 to shoot once again as Lee shuffles around, cuts inside the lane, feeds Cusick a pump fake and bounce up top to E.J. Bush. Steps into a long 2, miss, rebound Cusick, puts it on the deck, back out to Yoder, left side, mid-range jumper, does not fall, and a rebound pulled by Tyquan Reed. Going straight coast to coast, Euro step in the lane, layup with the foul. 9 points now for Tyquan Reed as he took that whole offensive possession upon himself, and now the Rams are up by 11, 37-26, and a chance to make it 12 here. As it looks like Coach Don Renkowski does not waste any time, goes with a brand new platoon to start out the second half. So McLean, Turner, Terrence Scales, as well as Reagan Johnson, joined by Luke Janney, as he just snatched the entire team off of the floor. So he wasn't happy with that, as Tyquan Reed shoots and scores to complete the and one. 38-26, almost the largest lead of the game, as Bluefield led by 13 in the second part of the first half. Here's Reagan Johnson, a feed on the left side. Isaiah McLean goes out towards the free throw line, fakes and bounce passes into the right corner for Justin Turner. Pass up top to McLean. Looks like this Bryan team trying to slow the game down as McLean hits a shot from about 10 feet on the right side of the paint. Bluefield wasting no time. Reed steps towards a layup. Ugly one at that with the right hand for Tyquan Reed. And Richard Morgan pretty upset as Reed, instead of wanting to slow that one down, relied upon Tyquan Reed to just bullet it off the glass. Here's Turner, underhands over to McLean on the left side. 15 to shoot, top of the key, Turner again. Bluefield on Bryan like glue here. The left wing is Johnson, lobs down low. Donnell Gooch tips away the pass and intended for Justin Turner. Here's Tyquan Reed, feeds Gooch at the top of the key, and Jeremiah Jenkins will start out a brand new offense with 17:30 left, 38-28 remaining in the game. Reed with a chest pass out to Jeremiah Jenkins, bounces into the paint, feeds Gooch, free throw line jumper, he missed as Naquan Cousins couldn't slam it on the putback. Rebound for McLean, lob to Terrence Scales. His 3 from the far wing, a miss on the back iron, and Bluefield able to pull down another rebound courtesy Donnell Gooch. Well, Jeremiah Jenkins and this team looks like it's kind of been an ugly first couple of minutes for Bryan. Here's Naquan Cousins in the corner, and he stormed in for a layup with a foul. 40-28. And Don Renkowski telling Justin Turner, don't stand there, put your arms up. Meanwhile, that's the second foul on Reagan Johnson, and the second foul in the second half for Bryan. Here's Cousins trying to complete the and one. Air ball, ugly one at that, and now Bryan will get the ball back. Still a 12-point lead for the Rams, 40-28. 16:59 remaining in the game. And Bluefield just led by 6 to start out this half. Here's Janney to take the ball across midcourt, zigzagging his way across Jeremiah Jenkins. Bounce in the right wing to Terrence Scales as he has a hip-high dribble. Underhands over top to Reagan Johnson as Bryan operates in around the perimeter. Here comes McLean. He hits his second fadeaway jumper, and now he is just mocking Damon Childress going on the other end of the floor. Well, Childress very fired up as he is a guy that's trying to shoot another 3 here. Childress swings out Cousins for 3 from the corner. Misses. Bouncing into the hands of the point guard on the right block, Luke Janney. 40-30 the score. The Rams lead by 10. Childress picks up a foul on the other end. Isaiah McLean going all out against the Bluefield guard. Now an inbounds pass for Bluefield, 16-16 remaining here in the first half. Now going back up top of the key, Luke Janney trying to really find an open man. A bounce down low, and Donnell Gooch really snatched the man down, Justin Turner, who was intended for that pass. That'll be a foul on Gooch, his first, and the team's second. Stops the clock at 16:09. An inbounds pass for Terrence Scales. Bluefield still up by 10. Inbounds to Janney. Steps off of the defense from Jenkins. Euro step, clonks the layup around and misses as Jeremiah Jenkins picks it up on the left end. Outlets up to Naquan Cousins. Storming in the lane. Euro step for the layup. He missed. No foul as Justin Turner absolutely pushed him down. Here on the right wing, McLean pops from 17. Nothing but net. And McLean has been hard to stop. Cuts it down to a single-digit deficit, 40-32 now. 15:40 remaining. Damon Childress is being victimized on the other end. Top of the key, here's Childress. Chest pass over to Taekwon Reed. Reed already with 10 points in this one. Going in the lane with some contact and a block called on Terrence Scales near the left elbow. So that is the third foul on Bryan. And Terrence Scales now has 2. Reagan Johnson taken out of the game. E.J. Bush back in. 15:29 remaining. An inbounds pass for Bluefield on the left side of the basket. Jenkins feeds Reed. Right corner. Arcs a tray. Nothing but net. Back to a double-digit lead. Bluefield leading by 10. They only call it a 2. It's 42-32. 42-32. Rams up by 10. Almost thought that Taekwon Reed had that 3 there, but he had a foot on the line. A bounce on the right, block for E.J. Bush. 10 to shoot. Shot for Justin Turner. Rattles around as he can't drain the right wing tray. Bluefield with another rebound, courtesy Cousins. As Jenkins spins into the defense, feeds out to Cousins. Bluefield starting to slow it down. Taekwon Reed not afraid to shoot from anywhere. Crossover dribble and passes over to Damon Childress. Now back in the right corner for Jeremiah Jenkins. And with 13 to shoot, he retreats out to the right wing. Clock down to 10 seconds. Jeremiah Jenkins off the double team. Feeds left side. Taekwon Reed. Long 2. Back iron. Miss. Rebound snatched out of the air by Terrence Scales. Outlet on the other side. E.J. Bush steps in the lane. Fadeaway shot off the glass and in. Down to an 8-point lead again. 42-34 the score. As the Rams still lead by multiple possessions with 14-15 remaining in the game. Still, though, that defense call, you can hear it from the Bryan bench. Jeremiah Jenkins on the right wing dribbles the ball through his legs and feeds it over to Naquan Cousins. Around the perimeter, Damon Childress, no look past Taekwon Reed. 8 to shoot. Reed looking for a feed. Gives it over to Jeremiah Jenkins on the baseline. Lost the ball, pops it over to Gooch. 17-footer, good. The big man can do it from mid-range. 44-34. That 6'9" frame, he doesn't have maybe as much muscle as some of the other tall guys on the team, but Donnell Gooch still with incredible range. Here's Isaiah McLean. He hits another tray on fire from the left wing. 44-37, 7-point lead for the Rams. Here's Taekwon Reed, though, attacking the basket. Steps outside to Damon Childress. Passes to Jeremiah Jenkins. Long 3, good. Great no-look dish from Damon Childress. He said he wasn't feeling it and had the no-look hip pass over to Jeremiah Jenkins to make it a 10-point game once again. 47-37, 13-10 remaining. Lob in the left block for Justin Turner, and he just got it over the head of Donnell Gooch for the basket. 47-39, the lead back down to 8. Both teams just finding offensive prowess in this one as the shots are falling. Not a lot of defense being played as Childress arcs a 3 and sinks it right in the face of Isaiah McLean on the right wing. Second 3 of the game for the sophomore from Vinton, Virginia, 50-39. Right across midcourt, Luke Janney being pressured by Jeremiah Jenkins. Here's Justin Turner in the right elbow off the pass. Isaiah McLean has the hot hand as he goes in towards the baseline. Underhanded pass stolen by Jeremiah Jenkins. Here comes Bluefield on a 3-on-2 break, and he just kicked the ball off of his own dribble. I think he was going to try to pass it behind his back, and the freshman gets the long stare down from Richard Morgan, and he is immediately taken out of the game. Still, though, 50-39, 12:27 remaining. Dan Nelms back in the game. David Tripp joining him with Sean Robinson. Inbounds pass on the far end. Bluefield with a full court press as Scales chucks it in the air. Almost hit by David Tripp, but hauled down by E.J. Bush. His crossover no good on the layup, and Bluefield will have to keep up that defense as looks like Bryan will have an inbounds pass right in front of the cheerleaders for Bluefield. Clock is halted at 12:21. Rams looking for their third straight win. Bryan College also on fire at 12-8 and 6-5 in the AAC. Bluefield at third in the conference right now. Terrence Scales from the right block just swings it up in the air to be caught near midcourt by Luke Janney. Little over 12 minutes remain as Scales has it in the right wing, right in front of the student section on the far sideline. Now 15 to shoot. Scales trading around with Isaiah McLean. McLean matched up with Sean Robinson, has it on the left wing. Hard pass down to Luke Janney, feeds back McLean, launches a three, no good, back iron, tipped in the air and picked by Jorge Concepcion. Concepcion, another guy trying to get onto the scoring column for the first time. No look pass out to Sean Robinson. And you got to think that Jorge Concepcion, a guy that scores normally around 15 points per game, wants to get it through the basket. 13 to shoot. Concepcion underhands Nelms back over to Robinson. Top of the key into the perimeter and fouled by Luke Janney. And Janney, the freshman, a little bit taller than Sean Robinson. Robinson really sold that foul, stepped into it and immediately went down. 50-39 the score. Inbounds pass on the far sideline. Hard pass into Sean Robinson. He sinks the long two as he hits the floor. 52-39. The fadeaway falls for the young man from Wilmington, North Carolina. It's a 13-point lead for the Rams. Terrence Scales attacks the paint, spins, and scoops and scores with the right hand. 52-41. And the Rams have to keep scoring because Bryan is not letting up. Robinson matched up with Luke Janney. He still shows that he is fearless with going at the basket. Robinson with nowhere to go, bounces left corner over to Jorge Concepcion. Storms down the baseline, swings top of the key. David Tripp picked it away instead. Concepcion, step back corner three. No good, but he will it'll be a foul on David Tripp pushing off on the rebound. So that'll be the third team foul for Bluefield. And for Tripp, that's his second foul. Naquan Cousins back into the game, replacing Donnell Gooch. 52-41, the clock is stopped at 10:54. Taking the ball across midcourt, Luke Janney right across that logo. Almost walked as he had a bounce pass to Justin Turner. Now Janney, the Knoxville native, passes right wing. Scales takes a three from pro length and finally sinks it in. Lead is down to 8, 52-44. Clock is down to 10:33. Concepcion with a chest pass in the corner for the Connecticut native. David Tripp into the lane he goes, scoops with the left hand, and is fouled on the layup. He did not sink, but he will have 2 free throws. And the foul called on Bryan's Justin Warner. That's his third. His shot, front rim, no good. So David Tripp trying to get this back within a 9-point lead for the Rams. Bryan just hanging on. Seems that every Bluefield possession is matched with an equal Bryan possession as Tripp misses them both from the line. Here come the Lions on the other end. Luke Janney taking the ball right to left in that black jersey, towing down the near sideline. Off a screen, starts to veer right, swings out right corner, Terrence Scales. A pump fake and a step back, gives it back to his point guard. 13 to shoot, McLean hoping for separation. Misses the baseline jumper, and David Tripp jumped up and corralled it off the boards. Here comes Naquan Cousins under the basket, swings right corner to Stanthony Nelms, off of the big man's fingers and in towards the bench for Bluefield. That'll bring Tyquan Reed back into the game. Naquan Cousins take it off. 9:58 remaining. 52-44. And you got to remember, these second half leads don't mean much for Bluefield. They led by 19 against Montreat and the Cavaliers were able to fight it back and send that game into overtime. Rams ended up winning that one, though, 109-107. Going back on the other end, here comes Janney right across midcourt. An overhead pass in the right elbow to Bush. Underhand Scales. 3 from the top of the key. Missed it. Anthony Nelms jumped up with 2 hands to get the board. Here come the Rams. Nelms dribbled the ball off his foot. Janney with a steal. Going on a break. Loose ball in the near corner. Punched out of bounds by Anthony Nelms. So we've seen that a couple of times in this game. The Rams maybe not the best ball handling team in the AAC. Still get a little bit of breaks on their athleticism as Renkoski calls a timeout. 52-44, 8-point lead for Bluefield with 9:35 remaining in the game. Back here on the Rams Digital Sports Network, 52-44, 9:35 remaining in the game. Bluefield led by as much as 13 in this one, and it looks like Bryan's trying to fight their way back. Bluefield needs a defensive stop as well as some offensive prowess to get this thing going. Clay Hurdle with 15 on the shot clock, zips left wing over to Scales, feeds over to Cusick in the corner. Cusick spinning around, back up to Scales in the left wing. 8 to shoot. Concepcion on the defense. One arm pass to Hurdle in the right wing. Splits the defense, scoops with the right hand, and scores, but it will be called an and one. Bluefield thought they wanted a walk there, so that's why there was a pause, but now they are within 6 and a chance to make it 5 for Clay Hurdle here. 52-46, clock is stopped at 9:12 in front of a packed dome gymnasium. Here's Hurdle. Misses the free throw, and now Bluefield will get it back after the rebound was snatched by Anthony Nelms. Going across midcourt, Sean Robinson passes in the right wing. Robinson has 8 points. Only one player in double figures now for Bluefield, and that's Taekwon Reed. Meanwhile, 3 for David Tripp, bricked off the glass, and a rebound for Luke Janney. 8:53 left to go. 52-46 into the left wing. A bounce in the corner. Here comes Hurdle. Pass down low to E.J. Bush. Jump stop. His shot, no good, but he's fouled in the effort, which will bring Bryan back to the line. Now, if Bluefield wants to keep leading in this game, they can't consistently send Bryan towards the line, as they have been an aggressive team, just working the ball fast. E.J. Bush going back to the line. He will shoot 2. Just scored 4 points in this game. Has 2 fouls. Both teams now with 5 personal fouls, as that's the second foul on Anthony Nelms. Free throw doesn't go for E.J. Bush. Ball just banged around the rim and swung out on the right side. Bush, just a freshman from Oak Ridge, Tennessee. He scored 23 points in the last game against Truett. Arcs the second shot, back iron. He missed them both as Donnell Gooch jumped into the ball. Rebound for the big man, and here comes Bluefield with Taekwon Reed. His 3. Too hard, back iron, and that one actually hit the glass as well. Rebound for Hurdle as Jeremiah Jenkins is trying to bring some sort of defensive pressure here with 8.5 minutes left. Rams just lead by 6. It's 52-46. Clay Hurdle matched on defense with Jorge Concepcion. Now in a double team, looking for someone to pass it to, and the ball just rolls into the hands of David Tripp. Underhands it over to Taekwon Reed as Bluefield tries to make something happen with these offensive possessions. In a bit of a drought here, haven't scored in the past 2 minutes. Concepcion swings top of the key. Jenkins and another pass in the left wing to Taekwon Reed. Reed feeds Jorge Concepcion. Still scoreless in this one. Crossover dribble. One arm dish down to David Tripp, and he is fouled going for the shot on the right block. So David Tripp gets another chance at the line. He is 3 of 6 from the charity stripe tonight. Last time he went to the line, he missed both shots. Well, that's the third foul on E.J. Bush. The shot does not fall for David Tripp. He's cold from the free throw line. 52-46 still the score. The Rams have 2 rebounders down there. Taekwon Reed as well as Jenkins. Second shot. Missed him again. Reed just punched the ball out of bounds on the left side. And David Tripp obviously frustrated as he failed to convert. Clock is stopped at 7:51. 52-46. Now a whistle will sound. And it looks like Bluefield will not sub anybody in. But now Naquan Cousins ready to get back in the game. 7:44 remaining. Going down the far sideline, Luke Janney, one of the best ball handlers we've seen at the Dome, veers left. Kicks down low over to Clay Hurdle. Finds an open Cusick. Right wing three. Misses this time. Tipped in the air. Loose ball corralled by Jorge Concepcion. Going down the far sideline, cuts back towards the middle. Euro step, scoots with a right hand and clunks the layup through. And the Chesapeake native now on the board, 54-46 with 7:20 left to go. And you can tell Concepcion was waiting for a play like that. He found the lane going down the far sideline and then just cut back in. Now a foul called on Taekwon Reed as he was tied up with Terrence Scales. 7:09 left. Now we will see another substitution. David Tripp into the game for the first, or taken out of the game. Naquan Cousins taken back in. 7:09 left to go. Here's Scales. Bounce inside to Oteria Lee. Feeds Bush. His corner jumper. Good from mid-range down the baseline. 7:02 left. Jorge Concepcion going down the other end. Goes at the paint. Swings up a shot and misses with the right hand. Terrence Scales with a rebound. Now on a fast break. Going straight down the lane. Euro step with the right hand. Pushes it through to make it a 4-point game. 54-40. Bryan getting excited as they are down by just 2 possessions. 6 fouls on the side for either team. So both teams just about ready to be in the bonus. Concepcion feeds Jenkins, launches a 3, rattles away, an unlucky shot for the freshman. Now after the rebound by Clay Hurdle, Oteria Lee will try to take over this game. The senior only has 2 points after averaging right around 17 points per game. In the lane goes Scales, Euro step, layup nowhere close, rebound fought for by Cusick, and swings it back out over to Hurdle in the right wing. Now 10 to shoot with 6:10 remaining. Feed down low to E.J. Bush, puts it on the deck, his shot no good, put back can't stick it, and now a fall layup for Donnell Gooch with 6 minutes remaining. Bluefield still up by 4, 54-40. 5:55 on the clock as Taekwon Reed lobs in the left wing to Jorge Concepcion. Bluefield starting to slow it down, trying to find a good shot here. As Jenkins feeds into Jorge Concepcion. Shuffles out of a double team. 10 to shoot, launches a pro-length tray, back iron, rebound Terrence Scales. Still a 4-point game as Bluefield is ice cold now. Oteria Lee in the left wing. Bryan is trailed by as much as 13 in this one, and now Bluefield needs to make defensive stops. Lee into the lane. Floater, no good. Looking for the putback, Bryce Cusick, but he is fouled in the process of the shot. So with 5:23 remaining, the Rams lead by 2 scores, 54-40. And Bryce Cusick goes to the line. Oh, Cusick, a guy that can do it all. Standing in at 6'7". He has 8 points. He's 3 of 8 from the field and 2 of 6 from beyond the arc. But this is his first chance from the charity stripe in this game. Now that's the 7th foul on Donnell Gooch, and this is one of a 1-and-1. And he hits it. So Naquan Cousins was ready to pass it out and realized that he didn't make that basket. Now 54-51, Cusick shoots and scores after the ball rattles around and falls with some help off the window. down to a 2-point game, 54-52 with 5:15 left to go. Bryan has fought back to make this one a ball game, just like we saw Bluefield getting cold in the second half. Naquan Cousins shuffles in the left wing, into the lane, loses the ball, swings it back out to Childress, but he drew a foul in the process. 5:06 remaining. That's the 7th foul on Bryan, and that will be the first foul on Oteria Lee. So Naquan Cousins going to the stripe now. He's 2 of 2 from the line and shooting a 1-1. Arcs the first shot. Back iron. He missed. Cusick tipped the ball into the hands of Isaiah McLean. 54-52. Bryan has fought all the way back with 5 minutes left to go. Lee starts to veer back towards the top of the arc and passes left wing to Bush. Underhands to Hurdle into the lane. Pops up a shot. No. He passed down low to Cusick. Banged it in, and we have a tie game after the layup falls from the right block. 54-54. Tied up for the first time since the first half, and Richard Morgan calls a much-needed timeout after the Bryan bench is elated. 4:37 remaining in this game. 54-54. Rams tie with the Lions. After leading by as much as 13, Bryan has fought back, and now Bluefield has gotten themselves into a tie game at 54-54. Lob down to Donnell Gooch, swings out corner to Naquan Cousins. Around the perimeter, finding Childress. Right corner, 3, no good. Back iron, rebound, Naquan Cousins. Puts it on the deck, zips back out to Childress. Lob in the left wing to Jeremiah Jenkins. Stutter step and an underhanded pass to Taekwon Reed. 4:18 left to go in the second half. Here's Childress veering his way down the right block. Bounce pass, almost stolen. Jenkins picked it up, though. Underhands to Reed. Launches a tray. Good! As Taekwon Reed is excited after he hit that triple. 57-54, the tie, a thing of the past, unless Bryan is able to fight back with another triple here. Here comes Lee, a chest pass to E.J. Bush. Bluefield now up by 3 with 3:50 left. A bounce pass down low. Donnell Gooch almost got a hand on it. Here's Bryce Cusick down the baseline. Swings back out in the right wing. Now with 9 to shoot. Lee goes back towards the top of the key. Down the lane. Steps and absolutely blocked by Gooch. Outlet on the other end. Jenkins gives it back to Cousins. The dunk falls. After the Bluefield timeout, the Rams have scored 5 straight points, and that's gotten everybody on their feet here in the Dome. 3:20. Perfect combination of the block by Gooch, the pass by Jenkins, and the dunk. A walk at the top of the key by Lee, and that timeout has sent Bryan into the opposite of the momentum they had earlier. Stops the clock at 3:14. The Rams back in it now, 59-54. You got to think that Cousins probably jumped from about 8 feet to finish that dunk, too. Now the Rams trying to kick this one back up a notch. 3:14 remaining. Jenkins taking the ball lazily across midcourt, and now dancing the ball through his legs. Matched up with Luke Janney as Bryan operates in his zone. 3:04 left to go in the game. Here's Jenkins now starting to go right. Underhands back up to Taekwon Reed. Down the lane he goes. Steps for a layup. Misses, but he's fouled. So that stops the clock at 2:57. Taekwon Reed going back to the line. Is Reed, a guy coming out of North Carolina, went to Vance Granville Community College, has 15 points, leading all scorers in this one. And he's 1 of 1 from the line. So now he'll have 2, with his team leading by 5. That was the 8th foul on Bryan, by the way. His first shot, nothing but net. It's also the first foul called on the Lions' Bryce Cusick. So 2:57 left. After you hit that first free throw, it is 60-54. Second shot off the front end, a miss after a rebound for E.J. Bush. 60-54, Rams lead by 6 after it was tied up 54-54. A little over 4 minutes left. Rams have fought back. On the defensive end, though, they have to get it done. Here's Scales from the top of the arc. Lob in the right block, and he passed it into E.J. Bush, who was fouled by Damon Childress. That will be the 8th foul on Damon Childress, or rather the 8th foul on Bluefield. And the 3rd foul on Damon Childress. Now a 1-and-1 ensuing for E.J. Bush. Rams looking for a rebound. Bush 0 of 2 from the line. I'll make it 1 of 3 now. Hits that one. Cuts the lead down to 5. 60-55. Bounce pass into E.J. Bush. From the official. Bends the knees, shoots. This one doesn't go. Rebound for Stan Nelms. And Jeremiah Jenkins once again will let Bluefield kind of slow the pace of the game down. Still have to find the open shots, and they are not afraid to shoot that trade. 7 of 15 tonight, including 3 made by David Tripp in this one. Pops a long 3. Jenkins hit it from the right wing. 63-55. Here comes Isaiah McLean. Pass down low to E.J. Bush as Bryan will now slow it down again. 2:10 remaining. 63-55, but Bryce Cusick rattles home a triple right in front of his bench to get them right back into this one. 63-58, the lead back down to 5, and a timeout called by the Lions. 2:08 remaining in the game. Could be a classic at the Dome. Don't go away. Bryan fighting in this one. 2:08 remaining, 63-58. Rams on top, looking for their 3rd straight win in a row. Damon Childress gets the inbound and passes it cross court over to Jeremiah Jenkins in the backcourt. Bluefield pressured in a man-to-man now as Luke Janney is really draped on Jeremiah Jenkins, spinning across the far end of half-court line. 1:55 remaining. Bounces up top to Taekwon Reed. Here's Reed going in the lane. Euro step. Pumps it back out to Damon Childress. Now 10 to shoot. Jeremiah Jenkins waiting for the last look of this shot. 1:43 remaining. Jenkins off the screen. Veers right into the right wing. Step back triple. Good! That might be the dagger. 66-58, a 7-point lead, or rather an 8-point lead for the Rams. Here comes Janney, bouncing into Cusick. Time running out as E.J. Bush steps into the lane, hits the layup with the foul. Anthony Nelms palmed him. Looked like he got the ball, but instead swatted the guard's head. Now back to a 6-point game with 1:22 left. Jeremiah Jenkins, by the way, 11 points now. Or rather, I think that's 14 for the freshman. E.J. Bush ready to cut this down to a 5-point game if he can. Shoots the one free throw. This time he sinks it. 60-61. Clock has stopped at 22. Buzzer sounds. Isaiah McLean off the floor. Damon Childress, Jeremiah Jenkins, Taekwon Reed, and Donnell Gooch. Joined by Cousins. All on the floor for Bluefield. Looks like Bryan tried to foul yet. 2-possession game. Jenkins taking the ball across midcourt with a minute 12 remaining in the game. David Childress in the left wing. Roanoke Native top of the key. Taekwon Rams really milking this clock down now with a minute remaining. Up top to Jenkins to Donnell Gooch. Almost lost the ball. hands it over to Damon Childress down the baseline, and he stepped out of bounds. Costly turnover for the Rams, their 12th of the game. And now Bryan College will get it back with 56.8 seconds remaining. He will take the honors for Bryan College, shuffling down the near sideline and cutting back up towards midcourt. 22 seconds on the shot clock. Cusick for three, swirls around the cup, and brings this to a 2-point game. 66-64. Timeout called, and now it is crunch time for Bluefield. 46.2 seconds. And it's their second really close game in a row. Rams led by as much as 13 in the second half. And just like against Montreat, the opposing team finds a way to fight back and make it interesting in the final minute. Really a great way to do it in front of this home crowd here in the Dome. 66-64. Just about 50 seconds left of this timeout, and it looks like Bluefield still trying to milk down that clock, giving themselves an opportunity at the last shot. Still, you got to look at the fouls. Bluefield with 9 team fouls and Bryan with 8. So if Bluefield fouls Bryan, they will have a chance to tie it if Bluefield is not able to get this inbounds pass here, or if they are held scoreless on this possession. Now the Rams back out onto the floor now, looking for possibly their 3rd straight win in a row. One of the better atmospheres for hoops we've had here at the Dome this season. Bailey Engel here. I've been happy to call this game here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. It's been a fun one. Now back out on the floor, 66-64, 46.2 seconds remaining. Cousins feeds into Reed, and it looks like Bryan College will go with a man-to-man again. 40 seconds remain as Jenkins takes the ball across midcourt, D'd up hard by the freshman. Now the ball almost lost by Taekwon Reed on the lazy underhanded pass. Reed shuffles back towards midcourt with 30 seconds as he is matched up with E.J. Bush. Zip into Donnell Gooch on the far baseline, now with 9 to shoot. Shuffles back out on the right wing. Here's Reed, now with 5 to shoot. Reed with a pump fake, has to underhand it to Childress. Pro length 3, no good. Rebound, Nae'Qwan Cousins, and he is fouled in the effort. Might have been the most clutch rebound of the game, and Nae'Qwan Cousins will go to the line with a 1-and-1 after he was fouled by Isaiah McLean. So it's the team's 9th foul, and Cousins can make it a 4-point game here if he hits both of these free throws. Clock is now at 13.8. Childress wasn't really the guy for that shot, but he had to with the shot clock running down. Now the shot clock is off. Bluefield with no rebounders. Here's Cousins. First free throw's good. Makes it a 3-point game, 67-64. So now he is 3 of 4 from the charity stripe. Maybe with a chance to seal this game. 13.8 seconds left. Cousins shoots, misses. 67-64. Bryan with a chance to tie as they call a timeout with 11.9 seconds remaining in the game. Bluefield with maybe their most important defensive stance coming up when we come back. Or rather, we're going to stay live here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Well, you got to look at who's hit the threes for Bryan, who they could possibly throw it into. Luke Janney is 1 of 2. Terrence Scales 1 of 4, but Bryce Cusick, the big man, 4 of 8 from beyond the arc with 18 points. So that'll probably be the guy as he has hit the past couple of trays for the Lions. Now the Rams need to go back out on the floor and ice these Lions down, looking for their 3rd straight victory as Bryan wants another chance to try to win in the Dome and possibly sweep Bluefield this year. Could be a clutch win for the Rams, already at 10-6, trying to make it 11-6. Don Renkoski likely to draw something very clutch up. Bryan will have to go the length of the floor. Bluefield sends Sean Robinson, Jeremiah Jenkins, Nae'Qwan Cousins, Donnell Gooch, and Taekwon Reed onto the floor. Inbounds pass to Lee. 10 seconds remaining. Now down to 7. Lee bounces into Cusick. They need a 3. Underhands to Scales, top of the arc. Here's Cusick looking for a shot. Launches for the right wing. Air ball, and the Rams hold on. 67-64. Big defensive stance for Bluefield, and they get their vengeance after that loss back in November. Rams improve to 11-6 And Bryan College falls to 12-9 and 6-6 in the AAC. Bluefield now at 7-4 in the conference. What a win for Bluefield, really relying on the scoring of Taekwon Reed as well as Jeremiah Jenkins after Jenkins went 4 of 7 from beyond the arc. So a big win for Bluefield, and that will do it from the Dome, 67-64. And until next time, take it easy, Rams fans.